It was like Monday that I did a video feed to start the Facebook feed introduction. And today, I the last first one was just a way of just saying hi to everyone and stuff like that. Today one is the fact that I, I put in family as being the cornerstone of our existence. So I was able to send a salvo to everyone that if you are not, if you are confused that you're hanging out with friends and you are marginalizing family, you're making a mistake. You're making a big mistake of your life. If you are a professor and your family doesn't know that you've just got a degree, just got your through your first reading, second reading, and you are now a full-fledged professor, and they don't know about it, so that they can have a celebration for you. I think your priority is a little bit misplaced, and that's what I can say. Or let me turn that around again. If you are a fan of saying, I'm going to go abroad to go look for partners to come and do some work in Nigeria, and you don't know that any changes that any country has made in this whole world has come from inside. I understand your point of view because today is a youth day. And as a youth day, there are people who are, the youth are now living in the bush in Nigeria. I think that's the only country where you have youth living in the bush with AK-47, tackling python, tackling anaconda, bibora, tackling crocodile, and tackling lions, and taking children, about 45 of them, to send them a shark, behead their teacher, and when the rescue operation is coming, buy another of their teacher. So we have youth that are doing that, and this is the only country in the world that is doing that. And I want to make that very clear to you that if you're making the mistake of thinking that outside, any country that has made progress on the universe did it from inside. There's a saying which I kind of came across: changes come from inside, it doesn't come from outside. You can, and the best way you can explain that is to see a lot of young, old people wearing nice clothes, bling, 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 outside, but the inside is really very, very, very dirty. You are portraying yourself as an house. You are letting people know that your outside is so beautiful, but there is nothing inside. So changes come from inside, and that's what I'm trying to make. If you can make changes from inside, you are not heading anywhere. And I'm going to use the opportunity to say that we have found somebody who can do that in Osun State, the contemporary equipment that can do that. If Osun people refuse to vote for him, then our future will be turned back 30 light years back. I mean, when I mean 30 light years back, I'm talking about when humanity became an embodiment of themselves, when they did had to leave, let me just use Egypt. I want to go populate the Oceania, the subcontinent of India, the Hispaniola in South America, the Caucasians in the Caucasus Mountain, and the Africans were the one that went to go do that. Whether they are the one that did it, they don't know what they want to do, it doesn't matter. What we do know is that there were issues that came on board, like which we youth have not been able to question the minds of the omnipotent, omnipresence, omniscience, which means the omnipotent, omnipresence, with the omniscience was a woman, and there was a jealous of her by one person, and that is how you can say, hey, Adam and Eve, they were in the Garden of Eden. The Garden of Eden was a farm. When you go to the other side, you're talking about what you call, there was water. As a matter of fact, I did send an email today, and I quoted Matthew verse 4, of how I believe that youth are the future, and they're the one that can make a change. And the change I'm asking them to make in Ocean State is to vote for the incumbent there. And the changes that we're going to need to make if our brother Atiku refused to yield the ground, because that is what people are currently saying. People want Atiku to yield. That is, people who are against him, his antagonist, that's the only thing they are telling him. That we have an opportunity where Amechi is a great person, but if you yield, we can be able to have monetary insecurity, hunger, corruption, bribery, nepotism, borrowing to eat instead of borrowing to produce, and stuff like that. And the person that has put that in place is nothing but the old Anambra State governor for 2 sections. I'm going to kind of pack that one up there and kind of let that simmer down very quickly. And I'm going to say that, having said that, I want to quickly say that I am going live on Facebook, and this is my second time. And one of the things I was addressing was family was everything. And I want to use this opportunity to say why I believe family was everything. Like I said before, if you are not family oriented, then something is wrong. I personally I came from a humble home. It's not the best that we would have had because we didn't have no 30 years light back for our name in terms of Okiso and all those Obi of Onitsha, Alaafin of Oyo, Iwo of Osun States, and all that. We didn't have that. And for the few of us that took over from our mother and father, we have been able to band together. And I want to say that I would have been the one that would have been the Bangolo head, the Abolo, because of my full superpower, because of my birth defect, because of my attention deficit disorder. And I didn't, at that point in which I came up, the only thing they said that mattered at that time was hard work. I think they have now put an end to hard work. They said 250 years ago, everybody was hardworking. We're no longer hardworking now with the advent of the AI. And if you say that, we're not saying that if you are a youth, you don't need to work hard right now. All you have to do was, if you are out there thinking about kissing the rear end of your friends, Your friend will be with you only and only if your friend knows that your family who may not want to do right doesn't have the blood. The family has the blood, but if they can be your family if they are not ready to do the needful to keep you from falling apart, then you don't have no problem gravitating towards your friend's family like I did on 2 occasions, and I'm glad I did that because that's what my mother told me to go do. On the same note, I'm saying be more human. And that's what I mean by that is that you need to be more human. That's about it. And I am in the front of Congress today. All I'm going to tell the politicians in Nigeria who knows what to do, but because of their confusions and they are just doing the wrong thing. So my second introduction today that went out was very, 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 very packed with what I may call the fact that I am a nation builder. I made that very clear in the feed that I posted out there. I'm a nation builder. And I made it clear that as a nation builder, I have made the optimal sacrifice when it comes to when I went abroad for 42 years and I did not trip over myself. And I'm back to Nigeria now. But my family is the one that I need to give the credit to because they're the one that brought me back. Without them, I won't be back because I tripped over myself when I was there. I did not want to become a stepping stone with my primary school mate, secondary school mate, who left from university and stuff like that. And when I got to America, that was the first thing that came to my head. I don't want to become a second-class human being to my people that I was breaking bread with. And they all came from the Caucasus Mountain. And a lot of people are in Jackpot mode right now. And I'm telling them, you need to start thinking about how you're going to come back home because that's another thing I did. I went there for a reason and I did the needful and I came back. I wanted to come back earlier and they said, don't come back. When I said, I'm not coming back. Don't worry about me. And I stayed there and I worked on the same thing without changing stuff. But when they didn't know that I wasn't going to change, then it's when they said, okay, we're going to bring you back. I have a few things that I want to say that if you are interested in the assets that I already put together all through my 70 years on earth, I may be your guy. There's nothing I can't help you with. It's like, for example, Nigerian employment with the political party right now is that if you are the governor, you give job to people who were supportive of your political career, which is the same first mistake that was made by somebody like in the First Republic when I was here working for the federal government. So what I'm saying is that my phone number is available, but all you have to do in the following nuggets that I'm going to give to you is that just go out there and say build. It's a nation builder, but just say build. When you say build, whether you are calling my phone number, which is 23470, which is a Nigerian area code, I'm taking the zero off, 703362791, or you are sending me an email at azimikoko26@gmail.com, or you are putting your landing page, putting my landing page, which is something I need to upgrade, but I'm doing this alone by myself. And in as much as I'm saying that the family is everything, I think it started with me being not being greedy. And I mean, what am I saying? I wasn't greedy. Since I wasn't greedy, I was able to flip the narrative where the narrative was flippable. And I mean by that, what I mean by that is that at this point in time, if I was the opposite, I would have caused a chaos for the family that brought me back when my back was against the wall. I could have stayed in America and still do the same thing that I am doing right now, and I wouldn't have missed it. If I had come to Nigeria at the time I wanted to come in 1984 or 85, when I got my first undergraduate, when all my friends got their first undergraduate, and they were all jacking around with NYSC, I would have still be, it would have still taken me that long to be able to reach where I got to now. Maybe I would have been governor of a state, I would have been a VP, I would have been all that, but it would have taken as much as it has taken to the present tomorrow. I'm not going to sugarcoat that. So what I'm saying by saying is that you can buy my book. You can buy my book from Sellar, SEHTTP:// www.sellar.com/ The following numbers you can put in was 61M5Q571SO S1 S0, or you can put 033512713, or you can put 1Q19091LN7. All those numbers I just give to you now are all numbers that will allow you, if you want to have a sneak peek into the hook for my first book, which I was able to even sell to my cousin who came from Lagos, whose daughter is in the Nollywood, and I sold it to her and told her, you are going to give this, tell your daughter to go and download the book. It might take 10 years to have what you call a drama, because it's already a drama. It's very easy to do. All you have to do was do a seasonal finale of it. And I told her that the book is about bringing women out of the kitchen. And I saw that the second book was about fighting corruption in Nigeria using agriculture and technology. That's the second book. I wrote the first book when I was ready to return to Nigeria, and I've written the second book since I've been here. These are books that are class in the same category with Chinua Achebe, Rotimi, Fatirotimi, and all that. But I am a lone ranger, and I am not a crook. I am not fighting unnecessary war like the way the very dark man is fighting, Showore is fighting, Nnamdi Kanu is fighting. I'm mentioning him now. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Obi, Atiku, all this fighting they are doing, it really beats me because I don't think it's necessary. What is necessary is somebody to take the mantle. That was one of the chapters of my book. Taking the mantle, taking the bull by the horn and moving it forward. I'm going to kind of round this up and tell you that the call to action is, I am not promising that I will be consistently inconsistent, because I am a guy who is using what you call the stream of consciousness, and it depends on where the wind blows me. That's where I go. I'm not going to tell you, oh yeah, I'm going to be on the air tomorrow. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm carrying the whole Nigeria with me. I am what you call a nation builder. And a nation builder uses women and identify them as the omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscience, and they go in and give a lot of kudos to the youth who, according to, I think it was Kamala Harris said that 18% of youth in the whole world are currently living in Africa. And by 2030, 2050, we're going to be blowing up a lot of cankerworm. And that Obi has been saying that. I'm very happy about the way Obi is carrying his campaign. You cannot tell him down to be a ragamuffin. And I'm very happy about that. And same way with the incumbent in Oyo State, in Osun State. He's not a ragamuffin. He just happened to have come from the right family. And family is everything. That is the title of my book. Thank you all for coming in. Bye-bye.